Well, it was warm in the Bay Area, and that's where the NBA All-Star Weekend was just this past weekend. Yesterday, we got the All-Star Game, but we'll start with the three-point contest. Tyler Hero gets the win. Darius Garland makes it to the finals. He had a very good first round. Buddy Hield had the best first round. Outside of that, guys, they were throwing up some bricks.
Yeah.
Nobody was shooting that rock well, except Buddy Hield that first round, who almost had the single record. I think he tied Steph Curry's 31. And then the second half, DG fell off, and it was all Tyler Hero.
I mean, it was an excruciating weekend for the association, and I say that as a fan of basketball and a fan of the sport. Like, you got absolutely dumpstered by the NHL. You got absolutely dumpstered by Saturday Night Live on a Sunday. I think the whole part of Saturday Night Live is that it was Saturday, but everybody was tweeting about it last night. I watched both nights. I even tuned in a little bit of Friday night to the celebrity game before I fell asleep and took a nap. I mean, it was a brutal weekend for the NBA. Saturday, like, you had the Spurs little scandal in the skills challenge where they were just
what was that?
They were just
throwing
the basketballs away.
That's Chris Paul to a T, bro.
Yeah, and Wemby fell on the sword for that. And then the 3-point contest was a flop. Nobody will come this time next year. Nobody will ever remember that Tyler Hero won it. We'll all be Googling who won it last year. And then the dunk contest. Thank God for Mac McClung. And we talked about it all last week that they wheel him out there like a circus animal, and he was the only thing that saved it. John Morant and Giannis, like, it kind of got them off their couch, and then Giannis already changed his mind. So like the NBA All-Star Weekend, we could just throw it in the garbage.
Wait,
like,
so horrible. I saw Giannis, tweeted that, and Giannis said, if you're in it, I'm in it. He already went back on it?
Yeah, Giannis said his phone got hacked.
He said his phone got hacked?
So he's already out.
His agent said, brother, you're not doing that.
Yeah, he's already out. So, I mean, it was horrible. And then last night, I another thing that I kind of said all throughout the week was that, I didn't care to learn about the format. I was like, I'm just going to, watch it in real time and learn like everybody else. I still don't get it. I still couldn't tell you guys what I even watched. It was more like, we had officially lost the plot when Mr. Beast came out with $100,000 at half court. They pulled some random kid out of the stands and trying to shoot threes against Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard couldn't hit a three either. It looked like Saturday night. They're like in Mr. Beast's ear. They're like, we got to cut to commercial. We got to cut. He's like, the NBA is going to kick us off. Someone needs to make a three. And by some act of God, the kid made the three. And at that moment, all the mascots were like at half court dancing around. At that moment, I realized we have completely lost the plot here.
Let me ask, was Dame in any other events on Saturday night besides this?
He did the 3-point contest, and he was not good.
Okay, that debunked the theory that I was going to present. So never mind, I pass.
He also said that he's retired from Saturday night events, so he's not doing the 3-point contest anymore either. And he was trying to defend his back-to-back 3-point championship, fell short of that, and retired kind of on the spot. So the NBA is in a world of hurt. This weekend was horrible.
As a guy who's not a big NBA guy, so hand up in the air, I did not watch 1 second of NBA All-Star events this past weekend. Mac
missed
McClung.
Nothing.
Yeah, no, I missed nothing. But Mac McClung, to my understanding, doesn't actually play in the NBA. He just he gets unfrozen. So this happened again.
Yeah.
How many? And I saw he played 5 minutes in the NBA this year. There has to be some cutoff to be in the dunk contest, right?
I mean, the thing is, though, he's
the reason is because nobody wants to do it.
No one wants to do it. I mean,
is it injury or is there are they running out of cool dunks to do?
I think that's it. They had Andre Jackson Jr. and Stephon Castle, who are like, polarizing-ish young player, like athletic.
Castle's the shooting guard on the Spurs.
On the Spurs,
right? Yeah. Okay, so I know that is. Yeah.
Athletic young players that really, unless you follow the league, you probably don't know. But like, exciting enough guys. And I mean, they came out and they were doing like the worst dunks that you had ever seen in your life. So like Mac McClung, at least, like, he jumped over Ikea. That was exciting. He jumped over Mobley. That was exciting. Like, honestly, next year, especially if Giannis and John Morant are already screwing around and going back on their word saying that they're not sure that they're going to do it, next year, I would just let Mac McClung go out, do 5 dunks, everybody gets excited, and then go the hell home. Let's not pretend like this is any anything more than what it is. Mac McClung's the only guy that wants to take it even halfway seriously. I know the narrative around Jack, like, no offense, but like the narrative around casuals are that he shouldn't even be participating because he, is not an NBA player. I at least give the dude credit because he at least halfway takes it seriously. Let him compete against these YouTubers and Instagram guys that throw down crazy dunks.
I agree.
And that's at least better than whatever we're trying to pretend with Andre Jackson Jr. and these guys that like no one else that even participated in it took it seriously. And these are NBA guys. So like just let him do his 5 dunks and be done with it.
We're saving what the fuck is that for our last segment, but it truly could have been this whole All-Star experience. The Mr. Beast halftime show, whatever the hell that was a complete mess. Jimmy was super awkward. The kid was awkward, which whatever. It's a kid coming on to stage probably for his first time. But first of all, I don't know if you guys noticed, when Damian Lillard was shooting the threes, the cameraman didn't have it on the bucket.
No,
you
not
couldn't
at
even
all.
see if it went in. Jimmy was just cringing, trying to either get more time, or when they said, dude, we got to wrap this up. Then he brings over Jay to come talk to him. It was a complete mess.
Yeah.
Draymond Green.
He was trying to get Shaq from this. He was like, Mr. Beast is like, Shaq, come on over. Shaq's like, I'm not getting up for this. So they ended up getting Kenny the Jet Smith over there to talk to this. It was just a complete.
And you had like, his name's like Jess or something on YouTube, who was one of the judges. Yeah. But I want to talk about this before we wrap this up. Draymond Green filling in for the TNT crew, obviously, because they were the GMs of the teams for the All-Star game, basically completely shit on this format, said it's horrible, said players can't get records anymore, which whatever. But then Chuck came out and said, hey, he hated what Draymond said. He said the reason that they have to do this and experiment with these formats is because y'all generation fucked it up. You don't care anymore like we did back in the 80s and 90s.
Fair. However, when Draymond Green is the voice of reason, that's how you know that you're in a lot of trouble. Like when this is the same guy that's punched people into practice. This is the same guy that has it out for, via nut kick for pretty much any other small forward or power forward or center in the game. So when he's the one that starts making sense, you're in trouble. And I get that it's easy to point fingers, especially Charles Barkley. And that's kind of both of their bits, is they're both kind of the heels. But like, it's not Draymond's fault in particular that it sucks. The generation in general has let this down big time. But you can't even put this weekend on the players. Like, the format was a complete flop. And when we talked about Mr. Beast, what we didn't talk about is they did something similar every single break. And I shut it off after the Mr. Beast one and after Draymond popped off.
It was miserable.
I'm like, I'm done. I literally went in bed and I just scrolled on TikTok for the whole rest of the night. But I was checking in on Twitter, and they kept stopping the game to keep doing these side acts like this Mr. Beast 3-point shootout. And like the game it wasn't over till 11 o'clock on a Sunday. Like that's not on the players. Like the format was horrible.
Well, this is courtesy of Reddit NBA. Shout out them. 42 minutes of actual basketball was played in the 3-hour All-Star game. The intro with ads, 30 minutes. Pre-game talk, 10 minutes. Game 1, Kenny versus Chuck, 12 minutes. Mr. Beast Challenge, 5 minutes. Game 2, Shaq vs. Rising Stars, 16 minutes. Music performance, 6 minutes. Inside the NBA Tribute, 9 minutes. Finally, at Game 3, 14 minutes. Post-game, 6 minutes. Analyst desk game time, 22 minutes. Ads, 80 minutes. Just 42 minutes of actual basketball. And you wonder why it flopped. I don't think it's a mystery. And I actually said that was the last thing we were talking about before we take a break, but I want to talk about this. LeBron James. I got a little bit of a problem. You just announced as the day that you're not sitting, or you're going to be sitting out the game. And then if you saw the picture, people were making fun of him because everybody was in their uniform. Yeah. He was in the center in street clothes. I don't know. Your guys thought somebody else could have took that spot.
I have a theory on that, actually, because he wasn't alone. Giannis, which we knew Giannis was going to be out, but then Anthony Edwards also didn't play, and LeBron didn't play. So you're without LeBron James. You're without Anthony Edwards and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Honestly, 3 of the top 10 players in the league right now are not participating in the NBA All-Star game. And my tinfoil hat on this is LeBron's no dummy. This is this was, 20 straight All-Star games for LeBron. This would have been 21. Something tells me he knew or had talked to someone that said that this whole night is going to be a massive embarrassment. The talk shows tomorrow morning are going to be ripping this to shreds. Don't be a part of it. Don't be a part of it. If you want to rest your ankle, if you want to rest your foot, tonight's the night to do it. Like, don't be a part of this one. This one's going to be a black eye for the league. It's going to be a black eye for the game. And that's why LeBron never even put the jersey on last night. Yeah. And that's, that kind of speaks volumes. I think that was an informed decision that he decided to kind of pull last minute.